What's up, comicbook.com? Beanie here. Welcome back to the studio at San Diego Comic-Con. Right now we're about to talk all about Beavis and Butthead with Mike Judge himself. Mike, welcome to the studio. Thanks for joining with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I actually want to talk about Comic-Con with you first.
Sure.
This is not your first rodeo at Comic-Con, right? You've been here before.
No, I've been here like 3 times or something like that. 4? No, 4 or 5 maybe.
Do you find yourself ever, when you're at Comic-Con, trying to find something collectible that you want for yourself, hyped about another project or seeing other creators?
Oh yeah, I mean, I never have enough time really here because I'm usually, promoting something, but I kind of like just rolling with the flow and just wandering around and seeing what I can see, running into people. Yeah, it's just, I really like the vibe of it, It's like lots of people in their safe space where they can cosplay and, it's a good feeling.
Yeah, I always say that what I like about Comic-Con is you automatically have something in common with the person next to you. At least something. Yeah. What's your geeky go-to? Is there any shows or comics or anything you're watching or reading?
Oh boy.
Or you like something you grew up on maybe?
Yeah, I mean in the past, like a lot of I remember running into Dan Clowes here. Just randomly running into him. I mean, I'm a huge fan of his stuff. I'd met him once before. Wait, what? Well, I just saw Ben Stiller, who
you never know.
I know, and a big fan of. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything off the bat that it's there's so much. I want to see everything all at once.
We had Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld in the studio earlier,
really?
And he sends his regards. He's a big fan.
Oh, I'm a big fan too. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I gotta see. I've seen. No one knows. I don't know what he looks like. Probably passed him by.
He looks like Rob. He's very. So now let's talk about Beavis and Butthead. I want to talk about how it was for you to jump back in with the movie and the revival. Coming back to the characters, did it just fall right back into place for you? Did you expect it to happen?
Yeah, it fell back in place pretty nicely. I mean, I've been saying what started it was I did the band Portugal the Man. They had put a couple of their songs in Silicon Valley, and I'd met them right before they got whatever level of huge they are. They'd asked me to do a intro for them of Beavis and Butthead, introducing them for Coachella, and I hadn't done those voices in so long, like at that point. But gave it a try, and then I listened back, and it was fun to do, and it sounded like Beavis and Butthead, and I thought, wow, this is kind of easy for me to do. And then Viacom, Paramount Plus had reached out about doing more, and I don't know, it also seemed like a good time to do it. There isn't like, it's a good time to return to stupidity, and there's not a lot of just dumb, simple comedy maybe around, I don't know. I mean, I love stuff like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. When I was a kid, I loved the Three Stooges reruns, and like old Warner Brothers, like Roadrunner. And this hasn't been. I don't know. It seems like there hasn't been a lot of that lately, and it. I don't know. It seemed like a good time to do it for whatever reasons.
These characters in this show, it has made jokes and commentary about real world events. Was there anything about the past few years that you were like that? Well, that, or was it all of it?
I don't know. Like, yeah, every now and then. I mean, the whole thing, I guess. Like I mean, when the pandemic hit, there wasn't much funny about that. But then, I don't know. Like, just the idea of I don't know. TV. Like, there's a lot of just seriousness and people taking themselves very seriously, and social media, and everyone's a philosopher, and all these kind of TikTok videos. There's a lot of fun stuff for them to watch. It just seems like a good time to have two just dumb white boys like having not much to say about anything, just being stupid. I don't know, there's something that's just kind of a release about it, to in both doing it and I hope watching it for people.
So did you know when you made Idiocracy that you were basically predicting the state of the world?
I mean, all I was trying to do, I actually started writing it in 2001, and I was thinking about the movie 2001, which I had watched again recently at that time, and thinking, boy, they didn't get 2001 right, because I had just been with my daughters at Disneyland, and there were these just like two redneck mamas cussing each other out at the Teacups ride. Just like, this, and I'm like, oh. And I just started thinking about like, what if the movie 2001 that Kubrick had made had been like, the Jerry Springer Show and gigantic Walmarts, and that would have been pretty cool. So I was just kind of in my mind drawing a graph from whenever that movie was made, like 1970 to 2001, and what if that kept going. And so if I predicted anything, it was just by following those. It was all scientific. I used data. No, but I mean, yeah, it did surprise me. Like a lot of little things, even in the time we shot the movie in 2004, it came out in 2006. Our costume designer showed me these things, Crocs, which was just a startup. They weren't anywhere yet. And she said, we're thinking of buying these because they're really stupid. They're made out of plastic. And I said to her, well, that's great, but if there's a startup, what if they're appearing in stores and the movie comes out and then it's not the future, it's the present? She said, oh, no one's going to buy these things. and sure enough, by the time the movie came out, they're just everywhere.
I'm pretty sure Post Malone has Crocs with like diamonds on them.
Yeah, well, there's designer Crocs now. Anyway, that was the first sign of...
Who would have? That's funny. That's funny. Profit behind the scenes. That's pretty funny. Rob actually, when I told him you were coming by, he shouted out an episode of Beavis and Butthead that mentioned the X-Force and different Marvel.
Oh, that's what it was. I was trying to remember. Yes.
So
X-Force rules. They're painting that. That's right. They painted that on. Yeah, I originally thought maybe they would be comic book nerds, the same way that there's not big, like sort of like the way little kids, not kids, but like whatever, 14-year-olds, like they want to be into just mighty heavy metal music and comic book heroes, but they're just skinny kids with braces. And but then I ended up I started getting more into the idea that they don't read very well, so that kind of took over.
This far into it, how much space do you feel like you have to kind of like, if you were making a change like that, or just kind of changes to the characters? Obviously, the character's going to change over time. Yeah. But do you get a little bit nervous when it's like, okay, well, it's been this long, we got to do an update. Will the fans accept this, or should we keep doing what we know works?
Yeah,
do you feel you have that space?
Yeah, that is like the balance we try to find, and a lot of it is just sort of avoiding certain things. But one thing we did do is we did a thing in the movie where there's sort of a quantum time split and all this stuff, where we're doing some episodes where they're middle-aged, and that's been really fun to do, because then it's, in a weird way, that seems more relevant to me sometimes, because it's just, you don't have to, pretend that they've been 15 for 30 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Not 30 years, but almost.
Everybody has a multiverse these days.
Yeah, and we're
gotta dive in.
Getting into that space. Yeah,
that's fun. That's fun to explore.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll see characters like Coach Buzzcut or Daria, anybody else familiar faces showing up again?
Yeah. Well, Daria is, for like 1 second, is in the movie. There might be there's been talk of more Daria stuff as part of the Beavis and Butthead metaverse. There's also Buzzcut. Actually, I think might come back. We're writing the last. He might be in the second season. We're definitely the hippie teacher. Van Driesen is in. Tom Anderson, believe it or not, still alive. Have to change the wars that he was in. Yeah.
That's fun, man. And as you gear up to continue revisiting Beavis and Butthead, I want to ask, between titles that you've worked on, like Idiocracy or like Office Space and the age of things coming back or being rebooted, what do you think of like projects you've worked on that long ago? The idea of revisiting stuff like that, because it's so common these days.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say of the ones you mentioned, Idiocracy, there was talk of some kind of a TV series spin-off of it, and King of the Hill, I think, could come back. Probably not Office Space. I mean, since Office Space came out, then after that was the British Office, American Office, and lots of other Office stuff. It's probably been done quite a bit, but a
lot of work for just the at-home version, Office Space in the kitchen.
Well, yeah, I actually got that. People saying that on Twitter. It's not a bad idea, I suppose. I don't know. That's a whole different. That's another metaverse for you.
Hey, man. Well, it's a pleasure to speak with you, man. Big fan of your work, and thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
All right, comicbook.com. Stay tuned for more coverage from San Diego Comic-Con.